Welcome to Corey's Conscious Living.
Hello, my favourite friend. If you haven't joined Cat Club yet, please talk to your mum, your dad, your guardians, your grandparents, whoever it is that's in charge, and ask them if you can join the Cat Club. You'll get 3 exclusive Heidi Cherry and Vaya stories every month on the 7th of the month. I hope you can join and become part of the family. Namaste, my little friend. Enjoy your story. Are you ready to meditate with Corey? Are you ready to be super still and quiet and not move your body? To be like a statue or laying dead man's pose in Savasana where you don't move a muscle? Try and get comfy so that you can listen to the story and allow your body to completely relax. The cats were visiting Meadow. She'd recently moved from the city to the country and they loved it there. There was this giant field very close to their house, and that's where the cats were all hanging out. Heidi was talking to Dover. Dover was Meadow's cat. Dover was about 6, and he liked to hunt. Heidi was absolutely fascinated. They were having a very in-depth conversation about all the things that Dover likes to hunt for. He was very particular. I like to hunt all the time. I like to hunt for birds, rabbits. Sometimes I'll find the occasional rat. Sometimes I'll find mice. It depends on the day and it depends on the weather. And of course, it depends on what I feel like chasing. Heidi said, "Wow, that sounds quite athletic." Dover started to talk about how athletic he really was. What it takes to be able to hunt something down, how fast you have to be, how clever you have to be and sneaky. Heidi said, "That's quite a talent you have there." Even though Heidi would never go hunting, that wasn't something she was into. She was still very interested because this was a new topic. And you know Heidi, she loves to learn anything new. Vaya was with Meadow's other cat, Vaya. So Vaya and Vaya were playing together. The differences between the two Vaya was Vaya, that you guys know, was a white fluff ball with blue eyes, and the other Vaya was a black and white fluff ball. So you could tell the difference between the two of them. But still, they were very similar. And of course, because they had the same name, they were instant twinsies. They were just besties. So they were prancing through the field like princesses, la-di-da-di-daring through the field. It was like an enchanted day, and there was a prince stopping by later to choose one of them to marry. They were playing their normal games together and having a lot of fun. Cherry was talking to Meadow. They were talking about school. Meadow was telling Cherry that sometimes school can be a bit stressful, sometimes it can be a bit boring, sometimes she can even get a little bit anxious about school. Cherry said, "Oh yeah, I know, Meadow. I know. Like, I know that I don't necessarily go to school like you, but I have been to school. I've been to school on like certain days with some of my friends, and it's been like, you can bring an animal day or something, and they've brought me, and I've been like, wow. School, so many things about school that's awesome, but so many things about school that I don't really like. I get what you mean, Meadow. Sometimes it's really boring and you're sat listening about some king like 200 million years ago and you're like, why am I listening to this king story? Why aren't I listening to a story about Taylor Swift, for example? Or even better, somebody like relevant in history today, rather than just like King so-and-so, the 8th from 8 million years ago. Who cares? That's what I think. And then, I did enjoy PE because you got to play lots of fun games in PE. And also, the good thing about PE is if you are a little bit stressed because you've just done one of your classes and your class was really like intense and you didn't know what you were doing. Does that happen to you, Meadow? Meadow said, yeah, sometimes. Cherry said, yeah, of course it does because, when you're learning something new, everyone's going to get stressed, aren't they? Unless they're super duper good at it already. Because if you're not super duper good at something, then you tend to avoid it, don't you? Like me, I can't do math. But, I have other talents. But that doesn't mean I get excited about math. Do I get excited about math? No way, Jose. I'm like avoiding math like the plague. But, it's like, I do know that in real life I'm going to have to probably use math sometimes. So I best listen, right? I best try. And you know what? My friend, when I went to school with her, told me that you can ask your teacher. But if you don't like your teacher, what do? Then you've got another conundrum, haven't you? So yeah, I get it, Meadow. You know what I do, Meadow, when I'm stressed? Meadow said, what do you do, Cherry? Cherry said, I do something crazy. Meadow said, well, I'm a little bit crazy too, right? Cherry said, yeah, Meadow, that's why we're friends. That's why I love you so much. Do you want to try something crazy with me? I did it recently and it was so much fun, but it's a bit crazy. Meadow said, I'm in. What do we do? Cherry was staring out at the field in front of them. They were kind of leant on a wooden fence, just staring into the field, watching Vaya and Vaya do their dancing and their prancing and everything that they were doing. Cherry said, I use my imagination and I imagine I'm in Horse World. Have you ever heard of Horse World? Meadow said, has it got horses in it? Because I love horses. Cherry said, oh, OMG. Me too. I absolutely adore horses. Yes, of course it's got horses in it, you crazy bear. It's like, how do I explain it? Well, it's like magical, of course. And what you do is you use your imagination, right? Because when you use your imagination, you know this, Meadow. When you use your imagination, you can be absolutely anywhere in the world. Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely anywhere. We could go to China and be in China. And go on those fancy toilets that wash your hiney and stuff. And then you've got a really clean hiney and everything and it's so cool. But no, we could do that. But no, this is what you do when you go to Horse World, right? It's full of horses. Crazy, eh? Right? It's full of horses and everywhere you go, these horses are different colours and they have different personalities and you can ride on them and some of them are like absolutely crazy, like Bonko Brocky. What's it called? What's it called when you see them bull riders, which I don't like at all. Not bull riders. Yeah, is it bull riders? I don't know. Those cowboys where they do that Bronco Billy stuff and like you get on back of a cow or a bull and then the bull goes absolutely crazy trying to buck you off, like jumps up and down and goes, get off. And you're like, no way, because you're a cowboy and you're trying to hold on, which I don't think is very nice because if you think about it, that cow and that bull, if they were really happy about you being on the back of them, they wouldn't be doing that, would they? So, I think that's not nice. But I think some of these horses are a little bit crazy like that. And sometimes you get on them and you're like, wow, what a ride. Because these horses do like you being on them. Because it's our imagination, right? Because we're making up Horse World. We can do whatever we want in Horse World. Meadow was getting so excited. I have so many ideas, Cherry. So many ideas. When do we do it? What do we do? What do we have to do? Cherry said, well, that's it. The craziest thing about this crazy horse world is you don't have to do anything much except you can close your eyes or you can keep your eyes open or you can start with your eyes closed. I found that's easier. Start with your eyes closed. Start to imagine that this field in front of us is full of horses. Can you imagine? I'll help you. Close your eyes, Meadow. Close your eyes. Because I'm so good at meditation. Close your eyes. Meadow closed her eyes ages ago, but Cherry kept saying it. Okay, close your eyes. Now. Imagine that you're staring into the field in front of you, even though your eyes are closed. Meadow said, I'm doing it. Cherry said, I know, because you're awesome. So then Meadow, then what I want you to do is imagine how many horses could possibly be in this field. How many? Can you imagine? Drum up all the imagination from your toesies all the way up your body. And imagine how many? Meadow said, 3. Cherry said, just 3. Meadow said, 300. Cherry said, that's my girl. So then, this field is full of 300 horses. What colours are they? Meadow said, I can see brown ones. I can see white ones. I can see white ones with brown spots on. I can see black ones. I can see grey, mottled ones. Cherry's like, OMG, you're so good at this. What else? What are the colours? Use your imagination. Meadow said, I can see pink ones, yellow ones, blue ones, violet-coloured ones. Cherry said, that's it. I knew you were crazy. I mean, in real life, you wouldn't really get those colour horses, would you? But this is our imagination. This is our horse world, Meadow. We don't need rules. I say, break the rules. I say, use your imagination. Just break free. Do whatever you want, because this is your rules. This is your game. So, looking into the horse meadow with 300 multicoloured horses, what do you want to do in there? Meadow said, I want to ride that black one over there with a white star in the middle of his forehead. Cherry said, wait a minute, I'm closing my eyes, I'm coming with you. Cherry closed her eyes. She said, I can see all your horses. She got very excited. I can even see the weird coloured ones. You're so weird. You're so crazy and so weird. I just love you so much, Meadow. Anyway, yeah. I can see him. I can see the one you want to ride. Can you see the one I want to ride? I want to ride the one that's white and it's got like stars all over it. Not spots. No, because this is my imagination, my horse world as well, and I see it with stars, silver stars. Can you see it, Meadow? Can you see it? Meadow looked into the crowd of horses. She imagined Cherry's star horse, and there it was. I see it, she said. Awesome. Right, you get on your black horse and I'll get on my white, silvery horse, and we'll do what? What shall we do? Meadow said, I say, we start to push our way through all the rest of the horses and then start to gallop and then jump the fence and just break free. Break free from everything else in the world. Cherry said, OMG, excuse me, I burped. OMG, that's so amazing. At that moment, Elliot walked past. Elliot was Meadow's older brother. He was like 14. What are you doing, Meadow? Because Meadow was standing there with her eyes closed, not staring into the field, but staring into the field. Meadow turned around and said, me and Cherry's having an adventure in Horse World. Elliot looked out into the field. There was no horses. You guys are nuts. And then he carried on walking. Cherry said, yeah, we are. And do you know, Elliot, that's the bestest compliment that you can give us. Anyway, back to our imaginations. Cherry turned around and stared out at the empty field that wasn't empty, because in their minds it was full of 300 multicoloured horses. I say, said Cherry, we do it, Meadow, we do it. Let's break free. In their minds, they were both riding their horses through the crowd of multicoloured horses. And then it seemed like all the other horses just kind of parted their ways, like when the sea parts in that story in the Bible. And then Meadow and Cherry started to gallop on the back of their horses. And then they ran faster. And then they ran even faster. The fence was getting closer and closer, but they both knew in their imaginations that they could clearly make the fence because they were horse riding champions. they both swooped over the giant wooden fence, cleared completely, safely, to the other side, landed, and then just galloped as fast as they possibly could into the next empty field, away from everything and everyone. Cherry was bouncing up and down on the back of her horse, and she shouted to Meadow, "I bet you're not stressed now, are you, Meadow?" Meadow said, "No." She shook her head, closed her eyes, and just let the wind blow through her hair. It blew on her cheeks, and it blew in her ears, and it blew across her face and her body, and at that moment she felt as if it was blowing everything away. All her thoughts about school completely disappeared. All there was right now was the wind on her face. She was riding the most perfect horse. He was a stallion, black and shiny, with his white star in the middle of his eyes. Meadow thought, this is crazy, because in one breath she felt so full of adrenaline and excited and just vivacious, and it was just crazy. But on the other hand, she was so peaceful and calm. She just surrendered into the horse ride, just let go of everything. Cherry disappeared. Cherry's horse disappeared. The only thing was just her, the wind, and her horse. They did this for quite some time, 20 minutes or so, just using their imaginations. They didn't end up doing anything that crazy. Meadow was just lost in the experience, and that was enough for her. She didn't need to do anything absolutely wacky. She just needed to do exactly what she did and have the experience that she did. When they both opened their eyes and looked at each other, Cherry said, "Did you like it? Did you like it? I know you did. I know you did." Meadow said, "That was the bestest thing ever. Thank you, Cherry." Cherry said, "You're so welcome. I knew you'd like Horse World, and you know what's even better about Horse World than you knew like 10, 20 minutes ago?" Meadow said, "What's that?" Cherry said, "You can do it anytime. You can go there anytime. You know when you're doing your online things for school, what is it? You know, like you don't always do, like, you know when you're doing, oh gosh, can't even think. I had such a good time. Let me think. You know when you're doing like your online classes with school and sometimes you're a bit stressed or you're not feeling it, like I'm not feeling this, I don't want to do this or whatever. Maybe you could just close your eyes for a second, just like 30 seconds, and imagine you're right here in this field, surrounded by your horses, and you can use that and you can like de-stress. And you could just like imagine that you're riding your horse and the wind is blowing in your hair. I know, I saw you. And then all your stress will get blown away by the wind. Make it like your exercise. Sometimes I like to get in the shower and I like to imagine that I'm washing off my day. And the shower is all nice and hot and steamy, and I'm like, oh, this is so nice. I'm washing off that argument. I'm washing off that awkward moment that I had when I couldn't do so-and-so. I'm washing off that part where I had an argument with Vaya because she was bugging me. Because, sometimes she does. I love her, but sometimes she bugs me. And then I'll wash off that point where Heidi was going on and on and on about one of her books, and I was like, oh, I'm so bored. Whatever I need to wash off, I'll just wash it off in the shower. And I'm like, this is my ritual. Corey would be so proud. That's what I think to myself. It's like a magical shower. That's what you can do with Horse World, Meadow. You can use it like a magical ritual. And whenever you get upset about anything, you can just close your eyes for a second or go to your bedroom. Or if it's possible, escape for a moment from the rest of the world and just go to your horse world. And don't come back until you're ready. Make everyone wait. No, don't do that in your class because you'll get in trouble. But, just if you can, go there for as long as you want. And then don't come back until you've had a really good time, because there's so many things that you can do in Horse World, right? Because it's your imagination. So awesome. It's so awesome. Anyway, I'm really hungry. I think I need to go back to your house and have a snack, or maybe a little nap, because after using all my imagination like that, I'm a little bit tired. Vaya, Heidi, Dover, Vaya, all the Vayas. Come on, we're going back for a snack. And hopefully Elliot's not there because he doesn't have very much imagination. Anyway, all right, okay, let's go. Cherry rounded everyone up and they all went back to Meadow's house. They had a snack and then they decided it would be fun to just have a little lay down and a nap. They got all comfortable together. And because all of their tummies were full, it didn't take very long before they fell fast asleep, one by one. The end.